being healthy and looking better is not like, it's not a glamorous thing. It makes you feel better. And it keeps, and another thing is like, it gives you a lot of strength, especially if you're older. You don't want to depend on someone else. When your hormone starts depleting, you get 35 different symptoms. So you become weaker, your hair gets fragile, your nails get fragile, your skin gets dry.
So how old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 65.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are gonna be shocked.
When women are trying to lose weight, what they do is they skip meals. Oh, I'm not losing weight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have lunch, or I'm not going to have dinner. It's the worst thing you can do. The reason is the doctors are telling everyone that you have to do more cardio to stay in shape, and it's completely wrong. Because cardio ages you faster. Feel alert. You're not tired anymore. Your back doesn't hurt anymore. Why would you want to stop?
Welcome to Better Yourself Podcast. It's your boy From Christ, and we have Michele today. Michele is back. We had an episode. I think it was about nearly a year. It was very good. We was talking about, like staying fit for people over 60. And you guys really enjoyed that episode. That's the reason why actually I brought her back here. And she's actually a personal trainer. She helps people to stay fit in a healthy way as well. And then for those people actually just don't want to look old and you want to maintain your age or look younger if you want, she know all the things, like in a healthy way. So today topic, we're going to talk about changes women over 50 should make right now. That's the topic today. So before we start, Michele, just introduce yourself so people actually never listen to you should know who you are, the voice behind. Let's get it.
Yes, great. Hi. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Good.
But my practice is I'm a nutrition and fitness coach, and I work with men and women who are going through hormone decline. As I mentioned before, women go through perimenopause anywhere between their 30s, probably late 30s to early 50s. Everyone is different. And then you enter menopause, 50s, some women 40s, perhaps some women even starting in their 60s. Men, on the other hand, go through andropause. So they also have a decline of hormones, but of course their hormones is different than ours. They also have estrogen as well as testosterone, but the main hormone for men is testosterone. When they deplete that, everything changes. So my job is to work with this individual, because once you start going through hormone decline, your body changes and it's very difficult to get in shape. Yeah. So I go through a different, my training is different, the nutrition is different. And most oftentimes I suggest that they go to see a doctor to have their hormones balanced, because I cannot do that. Between that and supplementation, as well as the training, cardio, and nutrition, you're golden. You could definitely change your body if you do it the right way. So that's what I do.
All right. So this is actually kind of part two. It was like 60 before. Now we're talking about women around, over 50. So I'm just going to go straight into it, because I know people just want to find how should I do that? For a woman today, actually, she's 50 or over. She never been really in those fitness life and everything, but she discovered the whole health and, good health, eating good, everything. She just discovered that in a late age, because the doctors say, you got to watch sugar, you have to watch this. So what advice can I give to those people? Is it possible for them at that age, when they're actually 50, to still have be in a good shape, or is it too late?
No, it's not too late. It's never too late, first of all, but it depends on what kind of fitness level you want to be.
Yeah.
But anybody at any age should be able to change their body and their health. I mean, I had clients at 81. I had an 81-year-old client who needed to lose about 30 pounds. His diet was really bad. Of course, it took me a long time, because people, when they're older, it's very difficult for them to change what they're familiar with. So it took me 2 years for him to make some changes, but he lost 25 pounds and he was a lot stronger and healthier. So it doesn't matter what age you are, but if you're in your 50s and you want to look better, and you want to feel healthier, the first thing I suggest is to change your diet, to have a professional to change your diet, and to start lifting weights, because that's what's going to change your body.
Women always get scared to lift weight. I'm gonna get too big. I don't want to have those big muscle. What that's what they always say.
It's impossible for you to get huge muscles. For one, you don't have the strength to lift that heavy if you're just starting. Second, you need to consume a tremendous amount of food to become bulky. You don't get big just with weights. Everything has to do is the combination between nutrition and training. Because if you want to get lean, nutrition has to be first. If you want to be bulky, nutrition has to be first. So it doesn't matter how heavy you lift. If your diet is dialed in, it's good.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, when you're around 50, your body's already, you're still strong, but like, your joint and everything.
Absolutely.
I think you mentioned something about the bones. So, because I know there's a difference between somebody's around 25, 30, and somebody's actually 50 when it comes to bones and everything. I know you can actually lift weight, but how do you actually, it's not like really kind of dangerous for somebody who never lift weight before and it's just at 50 and start lifting weight, or there is like certain things that you need to take to kind of help you with that?
No, it's
supplement.
not dangerous at all. First of all, you're going to start from the beginning. You're not going to try to lift 40 pounds when you can lift only 10. So you have to be incrementally. That's number one. Second, as you get older, you cannot be, working like when you were younger, like slamming those weights, because your joints are not the same anyway. So your tempo has to be different. It has to be slower to protect your joints. So like I said, everything when you are in your 50s and 60s, perhaps even late 40s, you have to change the protocol of training, nutrition, and supplementation. You cannot train the same way. You cannot eat the same way. You would like to eat the same way, but I think that's one of the major problems that people have. They continue to eat the same way when they were younger, and your body can't do that anymore. It can't digest the food the same way. So once you get the right protocol of training and nutrition, you will not hurt yourself.
The client that you have, is it more women or men? Do you think like women are more interested to that?
50-50.
It's 50-50. So yeah, so you said something about the bones, people should actually not worry. But when it comes to the diet, they have to be like on a strict diet, like, because people always think like you have to go broccoli and a dry chicken and such a things. Or you can still eat good and actually look healthy.
People are always saying to enjoy yourself when you eat, which what they're referring to is to eat, like I said before, how you were eating when you were younger. Ice cream, pasta. Do you really enjoy yourself when you have those foods? I didn't. When I was eating a lot of pasta, I remember that I used to eat pasta almost every night.
Do you still eat pasta?
No. But years ago, when I started training, my diet consisted of a lot of pasta. And I thought I was doing okay, but I didn't realize that I was bloated all the time. I didn't have any energy because I wasn't having any protein. I just didn't know the difference. So people think they're enjoying themselves when they're eating certain foods, when in essence, they're really not. They don't.
I think sometimes it tastes good, but for digestion is not good, because that's what I'm starting noticing now when I eat something like pasta. Stop eating pasta because I feel like my body is actually, as I'm getting older, my body is rejecting. It's not. Absolutely. I don't know. It's just, I feel like you just get tired of it. You cannot process it properly. Because
there is no nutrition value in pasta. First, it tastes good, yes, but there is no nutrition value, and especially when you're lifting or when you're older, the number one macro that you should have is protein, animal protein.
Animal protein, like okay, I know people talk about chicken breast. Where else can you actually? Because I know people don't want to eat chicken breast every single day.
Well, when I say animal protein, I'm talking about chicken. It doesn't have to be just chicken breast. It could be legs, it could be thighs, it could be any part of the chicken. It doesn't matter. But you could also have fish. You could have beef. You could have veal chop or lamb chops. Any animal protein, eggs. Any animal protein is good because it has a lot of branched chain amino acids in it that your body needs. Vegan food doesn't have that. Vegetables is great for you, but the protein in the vegetables does not have what your body needs. Yeah.
But the vegetable, when it comes to, I don't know, do you take whey protein?
I do.
Okay, but when you take protein, can you take actually I know people are like lactose intolerant. So can you actually take vegetarian? Like, I think there's like vegan protein as well. Is
There
that
is.
enough as well? Or
Well,
is it
at
like,
one point, again, when my diet was really bad,
hmm,
I used to consume a lot of cheese. I mean, I had cheese.
okay.
My diet was like the worst.
Yeah.
And I became lactose intolerant as a result of all the dairy that I was consuming.
Hmm.
So I couldn't eat any cheese, thank God, for a number of years. And I was unable to also have whey protein because it has milk in it.
Yeah.
It comes from it's animal protein. But when you're lactose intolerant, you can reverse it. It doesn't last forever. So I did stop for a while. I was consuming, which is terrible, soy protein because when you have pea protein and hemp protein, there's not enough protein in it. So I was looking for something that had a higher protein value.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't know much about nutrition. So I moved into soy protein, and it completely destroyed my system because soy protein is very slow to digest.
Yeah.
I wound up going to the doctor because I was in so much pain all the time because it wasn't digesting in my stomach. So after discovering that, the doctors didn't know, by the way, I had to figure out myself.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I don't know, like many doctors today, they don't really know much about
No idea. They
nutrition.
don't know anything about nutrition. So it took me a while. I was investigating what was causing all these problems, and it was the soy protein. So I went back to the whey protein, but at that point, I was able to have it, and it was fine.
But do you think, okay, if you didn't have no issue with soy protein, do you think like soy protein, does it have enough protein for people to kind of like use?
Well, I would never suggest soy protein, by the way. But if you're going to consume another vegetable protein, I would say it's not enough. It's not enough because, like I said, the amount of protein in per serving is very low. That's first.
Yeah.
Second is not animal protein, which is not the same. It's not going to give you the same benefit. So if you're vegan, yes, there's a problem. So you're going to have to consume that. You're going to have to eat that. But if you're not, I wouldn't suggest it.
But what about if you have like lactose intolerance? There isn't any alternative?
Yes. If you're lactose intolerant, you can have beef protein powder.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like beef, by the way.
Beef, I never heard about it. Beef, I mean, it's just written like beef, you know, protein.
It's sweet. It's just good like anything else, but it comes from beef because of the amino acids that we need, you know. So I tried it for a while, and it's not bad. It's not bad.
So yeah, so for people actually you are 50 and you want to actually build muscle and look good, you have to make sure like your protein intake is actually good. But for people actually, because you and me, like we're into fitness, we actually know how many grams you need anything. So for somebody who's new, it doesn't know anything, does he have to, because they're gonna stress out, does he have to know exactly how many protein they want, or they just like take one serve and that's it?
No, well, in general, you should have between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound.
Okay.
So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should have 150 grams of protein per day. Protein is the number one macro that you should have. And then between the fat and the carbs, you should just work around it depending on your goals. Some people cannot tolerate too much carbs, but it should never be mostly protein, by the way, because you have to alkaline the protein with vegetables. So if you cannot tolerate too much complex carbs like rice and potato and oatmeal, you should at least have a lot of vegetables to alkaline the protein. And then the fat, you should, like I say, you should work around it. You should quantify it depending on your goals, how much you need.
Where do you get your fat from?
I get my fat from avocados.
Yeah, I mean, I eat avocado a lot. I don't know. What about the quantity? People need to know about how much they need to have.
Well, I just saw this lady saying that you should, because avocado is good for you, you should have one a day. I don't recommend that. That's one avocado has about 35 grams of fat. That's too much fat in one sitting, you know?
Okay.
So
it depends if you're bulking, maybe, yeah.
No, it's just too much for your body to digest.
Yeah.
So I spread it out. I use maybe a teaspoon of coconut oil with my eggs. And maybe I use some almonds, like a tablespoon of almond butter with my shake. I spread it out in smaller amounts. If I eat avocado with my breakfast, I probably have 2 ounces of avocado. So I spread it out that way. If I lower my carbs, I have to increase my fat. But you can just randomly say, nuts are good for you. Let's just eat nuts. Or, let's just have a whole avocado. Oh, olive oil is good for you. Let me just have, I don't know, 2 tablespoons. No, it doesn't work that way. If you still want to look good, it has to be quantified.
Yeah. When it comes to coconut oil, actually, if you want to increase the level of fat, right? So how do you actually put it instead of cooking? Can you actually put it on your shake?
You should never cook it. Because once you cook the oil, the molecule changes. You know what I mean? It's just not the same anymore. You have to consume it raw.
The coconut, the one that look like a butter, right?
Yes.
That's the one. So how do you put it? You just put it on
I just put it on top of my eggs. Or after the eggs are cooked.
I just let it melt. And then
just immerse immediately, because once it gets a little bit of heat. Sometimes I just eat it from the spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes like coconut.
Yeah, true.
But you should not cook it. It should be as is.
Okay, I think there was something else you actually was talking about. I think a lot of people talk about cardio because when they want to lose weight, the first thing they see when you go to the gym, you see a lot of people, even people like 50 or plus, they love like treadmill, because people always believe the more you sweat, when you sweat, you feel like, okay, I'm losing something, I'm doing something right. Do you think is actually overrated when it comes to fitness? And do you think, like, for people, especially for people, because today we are focusing on people are 50 over. So do you think cardio is it enough for them? Or is it something like they need to do that like more than anything when in the gym?
First of all, I think the reason is the doctors are telling everyone that you have to do more cardio to stay in shape, and it's completely wrong. Because cardio ages you faster.
Okay.
Just think about it this way. In order for you, as you age, your muscles deplete and your bones deplete, your bone mass deplete. So if you start doing too much cardio, the first thing you're going to burn are your muscles and your bones. I mean, that's given.
I agree.
As a result, you're going to look older, right? You're going to lose energy. And because you're losing muscle lean mass, you're going to end up with skin and bones, like saggy.
That's why I see a lot of people doing that.
That's because they do too much cardio.
I think it's the same for people who take pills to lose weight. I think it works the same, because you are not building muscle, and then the fat gonna go, but the skin is just gonna be like hanging.
If you just want to lose weight without considering that you have to keep your lean mass, I always say this. People are gonna hate me for it. You're gonna look like a melted candle, because
oh man,
you're getting rid of all your muscles. And like I said, as you get older, look, I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
And my doctor gave me a medication that was making me lose weight. And one of the things that I need to preserve the most is my lean mass, right? Because it makes me look younger. It makes me look more youthful. And I had lost already 10 pounds. And I'm thinking, I was looking at my own videos from the gym. It's like, what the hell is going on with me? I didn't realize that medication was making me look. I knew I was losing weight, but I didn't know what, until I started putting
I feel like today you look younger than the last time I saw you.
What was that?
I feel like today you look younger than the last time I saw you. Actually.
What I mean?
Yeah, I think I can tell even by your
I'm telling you.
Did. Yeah.
And it's because I lost weight. My stomach, my ass were getting all wrinkled. And I'm like, look, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you the changes that I saw. And I thought, what the hell is going on? I need to figure out what it was. So I started researching. I started Googling, the medications that the doctor had given me. And one of the side effects was that, like, 30% of the people lose weight. So I called my doctor. I say, I'm not taking this medication anymore. So I stopped the medication and I gained 10 pounds already. So I filled up again. The reason for me telling you the story is when I was losing my muscles, my lean mass, I was shrinking down. So my loose skin was coming out.
Yeah.
Once your muscles come up, it just smooths the skin up again. And people don't seem to understand that. They think it's just getting small and getting skinny. You have to be careful when you lose weight when you're older, because if you lose weight too fast without gaining some muscle mass, you're not going to look good.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not going to look good.
I mean, it's true because you are training, you are sweating, you are losing fat, but it's not you're not turning that fat into a muscle. But when you're actually training, you turn the fat into, I mean, the fat into a muscle, right? I mean,
Well,
you
you
burn,
can't.
no, you don't turn it. Sorry, you burn the fat while building muscle. That's what I'm saying. So
Exactly.
when the fats are
Exactly.
disappearing, the muscle is actually replacing, and then everything is like,
Even if you don't lose fat and build muscle at the same time, which is really, really hard to do both, but you should at least, your focus should be on gaining muscle mass. That should be your number one focus. Now, once you get to a point where you feel like, this is good enough for me, then you start stripping the fat away. And then
But
it works better that way.
for those
I go
people,
through 2 phases when I do that.
but do they need to go to the gym when it comes to that, or what
You
kind of
could
like?
work out at home. Yeah, I have a lot of clients who do their workout at home, but you really have to be diligent to do that. You have to make sure that you're putting enough emphasis and energy into that. You can't just be,
You have to be consistent.
You have to be consistent. You have to make sure that you're lifting heavy. You
Mm.
can't just take it easy at home and just buy 2 dumbbells. It's not going to get you anywhere like that.
Unless you have somebody actually training you at home.
You could
like,
do that too. I have clients that I train in their home.
Yeah.
But I make sure they bought some equipment.
Yeah. I think I mean, you got to have the equipment. Yeah. How long do you think the training can last for people who are 50 plus? Do you think is it important for them as well, the time that they spend in the gym, like in terms of the workout? Do they have to go? 2 questions I have: how long they have to spend in the gym, and also what type of workout is best for them? Do they have to do that full body workout? They have to go for split, or is it more like a HIIT that they need to do for? What do you think?
Okay. I always recommend an hour. But if you're just starting, start with 30 minutes. But be consistent in incrementing that. So 30 minutes, go up to 45 minutes, and go up to an hour. Initially, you should do a full body workout, like 3 times a week. If you go 5 days a week in the beginning, you're not going to last. You're going to get burned out. You're going to get tired. You're going to be sore everywhere. But at least try to start with 3 days a week. And as you go, you become stronger. You start increasing weight. At that point, if you want to do a split body workout, you could totally do that. My workout is a split body workout. And I focus on what I feel is what I need the most work. I need the most work on my legs. I like beautiful legs and beautiful glutes. So I work that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a day. And then the other 2 days is for my upper body, because I don't have to focus that much on it. So it depends on the individual's body. What do you want to look? What are you lacking in your workouts? What is your weak part that you need to work for? So whatever that is, and it should be more. But in the beginning, it should be at least 3 times a week. Full body.
Makes sense. There's one thing as well I was gonna add. When it comes to hormone imbalance as well, because I know like this one, you actually play a lot of parts when it comes to body, when it comes to age and everything. So how do you think, how does it affect it, and how do you deal with it, the hormone imbalance?
Okay. When your hormone starts depleting, you get 35 different symptoms. I'm not quite sure how many symptoms are for a man, but for women, it's about 35. So you become weaker, your hair gets fragile, your nails get fragile, your skin gets dry. Like I said, 35 different symptoms, and you feel like shit. Pardon my word.
Yeah, you can say.
You feel cranky, you're irritable, and you just don't feel like yourself. You're achy, your joints hurt. That's one of the things that I was going through. And one of the things that made me go and see a doctor when I started taking hormone imbalance therapy, I think I was around 44 years old, which is a little early.
Yeah.
But most people wait too long to check themselves on what they need to check. I didn't want to wait until my body was completely falling apart. Another thing that doctors don't tell you is, women, when you have symptoms of perimenopause and you go and have your hormones checked, the doctors follow a number, of your, the maximum that your hormones should be and the minimum. There is a number they don't want you to cross.
Yeah.
Sometimes the number doesn't match how you feel. Meaning, if my testosterone level has to be at 13 and I'm feeling like crap at 10, and the doctor is just concerned about the number, that's a problem that happens a lot with many doctors when they prescribe a hormone therapy. They don't care about how you feel. They're just concerned about that number. So you have to be vigilant yourself and maybe find a doctor who gives you the right prescription, because sometimes they don't. So, because you want to feel good. Men don't know how we feel, especially if it's a male doctor.
You guys don't know how we feel either.
They have no clue how we feel.
Really?
So yeah, you just don't feel good. You feel completely off. You feel tired. You're depleted. You're cranky. You can't sleep at night. You get depressed. There's so many things that happen when your hormone starts, depleting.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, because I know like you work on your hormone, you work on your fitness, you work on everything, your body's changing, you're looking fit, but sometimes what happens is your face is not getting affected, because sometimes people just like, okay, you are losing weight, you're losing fit, but then your face is just become like very tight and you just look like a skeleton, And
Point.
yeah, I see a lot of people that you can see
Yes.
that the body when you see the face, man, how fish are we like? Is your face is always like Photoshop with your body or something?
But you know why that is? I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because they lost weight too fast, or maybe they didn't have to lose weight. They're in their mind, they want to be skinny, skinny, skinny. That means they're losing all their muscles. So the muscles on their face are gone.
Yeah.
And that's why they look like.
So, but can you actually keep the face
Yes,
shape and then?
Absolutely. I have it.
Yeah.
But the way you do it is, like I said, you have to build muscles without being afraid that you're going to get huge. And then when you go down and burn the fat, you cannot go too far.
Yeah.
If you want to burn so much fat, you're going to look like that. That's one reason why I don't compete anymore. Because when you do competitions, your face goes.
Yeah.
Because your body fat in your body, it goes to like 6%. It's not good for your face. So I don't compete for that reason. But an average woman who doesn't compete shouldn't have to go that far.
Yeah. Sure. I think, I see a lot of women, like when you see them when they're competing, oh my God. And when she's off season, she look all pretty. I'm like, I didn't know you looks that way.
But she filled up.
But when she's all like, because when she's on stage, she looks scary. Like when you see the face, be like, I think it's. Did you stop doing that now? Why did you stop?
That's why I stopped.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. That's the first reason why I stopped. I stopped about, 6 years ago. The second reason is I feel I was too old to do that. My body still looks good, but I don't want to be a 60-something-year-old woman parading in a bikini. I think that's ridiculous. I just no, that's not for me.
I think it's not kind of healthy as well at certain age, because you're shocking your body too much just to look certain way in certain time. But I know you're going through the process, but I think you're giving like a big shock in your body, actually.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to protect your skin from losing elasticity, you have to stop yo-yoing with these competitions. You gain a lot of weight and then you get really lean. You get your body, your face is going to take a beating. Actually, your whole body is going to take a beating.
But there's something I heard a lot about. Is it probiotic? Yeah. Probiotic. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this, but what you just say, is it what is it exactly? Because I heard a lot about it. Is it something to do with digestion, like helping people to digest? And is it
your intestinal tract has bacteria?
Yes.
Good bacteria and bad bacteria. You want to protect the good one. So you take probiotic for that.
So is it like a supplement? What is it? Or is it can get it from food as well? Or is it?
Yeah, supplement. You could take a pill. You could take powder. Usually it's pills or powder.
People take it like you have to be consistent with it, or is it just like a little cure that you take for a certain time and then you stop?
It's good to be consistent with it. Like you don't need one pill a day.
Huh?
Like if you sometimes like when you eat, like if you get really bloated and gassy,
Because like me, I have like a problem. My digestion is like it's very bad. Sometimes I have acid.
probiotic. Take probiotic. It will help. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do people just have to get it off counter, or just like this is not a suggestion? We know a doctor here. We're just saying, okay, just personal opinion because I know people. And do you just like buy it offline, or you just
I just try to get the best supplements that I know of,
yeah,
and I consistently stay with it because going to here in the United States, GNC or even Whole Foods, you're not going to find the best quality supplements there. You know,
yeah? They always make things looks like that's the best place to
Yeah.
get everything. That's
And
why
it's
people get
really-
tricky.
yeah, and it's pretty much useless. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I
same
think
for
yeah. Go
fish oil, by the way. If you take fish oil, it should be really of high quality.
fish
You know,
oil. But can you
yeah,
cook with that? I mean, you
no,
know, just
no,
dress.
it's a pill. So
Oh, your pill. Sorry.
yeah,
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
oil do you use actually to cook with?
I don't use any oil. I use a spray,
Spray
Olive-
for
olive oil.
olive oil to spray. Okay,
Yeah,
that's for more
because-
like grill.
because like I mentioned to you when we started talking, that once you cook the oil, it changes the not the consistency. It changes I forgot the word. It's not the same anymore once you heat it, right?
Hmm.
So I don't cook with oil for that reason. If I need to use some oil in my food from the food that I'm cooking, I just use a little bit of spray because the fat that I need on my diet is not going to come from that. It's going to come from the coconut oil, the avocado, the almond butter that I take outside of that.
So when you cook, like if you want to grill something, you use like a spray for
Yeah.
coconut oil or no
No,
coconut
I usually use olive oil.
olive oil. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I have coconut oil like spray. I don't actually know if you have to cook
No,
with
they
that.
do have it. They do have it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can actually grill with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all
The
you
only
need,
thing with that, you just like you're just gonna smell like the coconut if you're
no,
like
it
doing.
doesn't.
I mean, yeah, the spray when you cook like fish and then your fish gonna smell like a coconut, you know.
So use olive oil.
I think I can get with olive oil because I tried last time. I was
use
like, man,
olive
why
oil.
everything you know?
And the objective is that the food doesn't stick to whatever you're cooking it. Like for instance, I make ground beef, right? I put some onions, some seasoning, and it looks delicious. But before I throw the onions into the pan, the pot,
yeah.
I spray some olive oil. I don't need a lot of it.
Hmm.
It's just to saute a little bit, and it gives me the taste of the onions, and I cook it.
Yeah. And so the normal oil that you need to use is just for dressing then.
Yeah, like if you use a salad or if you need to put it on top of something, just don't cook it. Yeah.
What about rice? Do you eat rice?
I do.
Brown rice, I believe, right?
No, white rice.
Oh, white rice as well. I'm surprised. Really? Digestion, is it good for digestion? Or
Well,
is it
the
something
reason-
just like you can't help? One of those.
The reason between brown rice and white rice is that brown rice stays longer in your system and white rice comes out of your system faster. So if you need to have a fast carb, you use white rice. And I typically eat white rice.
So brown rice is actually good when it comes to stay more. For people who want like, let's say you are bulking, I think it's better to have like
Yeah, I think so.
because
Yeah.
you want something to stay in your system longer. Actually, I get it. I thought it was like a lower. I don't know because I know like sometimes it turns to a fat, right?
No.
Right?
I mean,
No
if you eat too much carbs, it's
carbs.
going to spill water out of your body, and then eventually it's going to be, it's going to be fatty on you.
In terms of bread, is it the same? Do you actually what kind of bread do you?
I don't eat bread unless I'm out in a restaurant and I want to have a little piece with butter, which I love. But any processed food that you eat is not going to digest well in your body, and it's not going to help you look good. Again, there's some people who can eat anything.
Yeah.
And if you're competing, in some cases, they want you to have a bagel because they want you to load up on a lot of carbs. I'm talking about the regular people out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is now we focus on the 50. When people turn 50, they push 60 and plus. What happens is that's when people start being concerned more about their health, they want to have like a better lifestyle. They don't really care much about, oh, I have to eat bread or whatever. Like that's when you care much about what you need
Because
to
they
eat.
wait until the last minute.
Yeah, but the problem is people are focused on that because in the early age when they was younger, they didn't care about it. But if today, that's why when we talk about nutrition, we shouldn't be ashamed to say about this is not good for our body. Like we need to have this kind of conversation because if people start in the early time, like not like you don't want to eat something, but just like eating the right things for your body. That's the goal. That's what we eat. And then
Right.
when we're gonna turn 50 or plus, there's a lot of issue that we don't want to even have anymore.
Well, the thing is that people don't want to make changes. So if they were happy eating bread and sandwiches and whatever, pizza, they don't want to give it up because your body, you get used to, it's like comfort food.
Yeah.
They get used to it. It was the same for me when I changed my diet. My diet, like I say, used to be horrible. I used to eat a lot of cheese and I used to eat a lot of pasta, and it was really hard for me to keep it up. But what I did was, instead of having pasta 6 days a week, I had it like 4 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week, and then once every 2 weeks. If you do it that way, it's so much easier to control than giving it up overnight.
I think when you do it that way as well, I think you have to, I mean, you of course you have to cut how much time you're eating, like as you say, and you have to replace as well with something else. If you don't replace, that's when you start losing weight as well.
Yeah, because people wanted, that's another thing that a lot of people want to do, especially women. If you're trying to lose weight, they want to lose weight overnight. Like, give it to me now. Like, I need to lose 5 pounds by next week.
Yeah.
First of all, if you do lose weight that quickly, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you look good. Second, as you lose weight, I lost my train of thought, but as you lose weight, you have to sustain, as I mentioned before, your lean mass. You don't want to do that. You don't want to lose your muscles. You have to do it slowly, no matter what it is. You have to do it slowly. Oh, I remember what I was trying to say. When women are trying to lose weight, what they do is they skip meals. Oh, I'm not losing weight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have lunch, or I'm not going to have dinner. It's the worst thing you can do, because now your metabolism slows down. Now your calories are so low that you're not going to lose any weight. Your body fat is going to go up, actually. So it's a mistake that people make a lot.
There's a comment that you actually told me, and we had a conversation. I think it was like the beginning of the month. You said something like, people now want to shame those who take care of themselves physically. The most important is feeling great under your skin, whatever is looking polished or looking clean. Not only give you the moral boosts, but all other react, to feel good by yourself. So what do you mean by many people actually want to shame those who take care of themselves? What do you mean by that?
How they do, they shame you. Because some people want to be natural, which is fine, to each his own. You could do whatever you want. But people always fight it, whether they can afford to have some work or buy makeup or whatever. Oh, look at that, I have no makeup. And they want to shame people who take good care of themselves. I'm old school. And I believe in taking care of myself. I always look presentable. I have makeup on, my hair is done, my clothes is presentable, and I don't look like a mess.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Now, if you go to any business or a store and you look like a mess, people are not going to pay attention to you. That's just the way life is. It's just the way it is. Now, if you feel more comfortable looking messy, most likely it's because you don't want to put the time into it, because it takes some work.
Yeah.
So I always suggest, especially if you're aging, if you're getting older, to put yourself together, because you can get away with that when you're very young. If you want to be a messy boy, and I see a lot of young girls, and they look adorable that way. Somebody older is not going to look adorable that way.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's why maybe you see a lot of young men today, like they love older women because they feel like those who actually look after themselves.
Yes.
And I see a lot of men, they was like, oh, I like, like women who are like 60 plus or something. And people are like, really? But when you see the type of woman that they want, is they may be 60 plus, but when you see them, they don't really look 60 plus. It's just like
Yeah, because they're
they
taking care of
understand the need to look after themselves, and the fact that they're having them, it just like is attractive.
it is attractive.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're older and you're not looking put together and you're dirty or it's just not going to work.
It's gonna make it worse. Yes.
You
I
know,
think, but what about when it comes to depression, right? People actually take it a lot. What is your opinion on that? Do you think is it long? Does it work in the long run, or
you mean
anti?
antidepressant
Yeah,
medication?
yeah,
Oh,
anti-depression. Yeah.
no, I'm going to give you a little story about that. That's what made me lose weight, by the way.
Uh,
When 2020 came around, I became depressed because certainly I'm not busy. I couldn't go anywhere. I could only go to Central Park for a walk and go and buy some food to another store. That's pretty much all I did for months. And I got very depressed. So I went to see a doctor and he gave me one kind of antidepressants. And he
Yeah.
kept increasing the dose. I never like to take antidepressants. I think unless your situation is so bad, you should take it. But if you just have a little bit of depression, you shouldn't mess with that. In my case, I had a little bit of depression, and it just didn't work for me. So we changed it to another one. Then we changed it to another one because I was having side effects with each one of them.
Mm. One
was giving me tremors. They were all giving me tremors actually, until we found one that is called Wellbutrin, and it's very mild. But I started losing my hair, and I lost 10 pounds. And I felt I could tell that my body, everything just was different.
Yeah, I think when you used to train, when you lose weight, you can't. There's something about you don't feel your body anymore. It's different.
I was just shrinking. I just didn't look good. I think I felt like I looked sick. Maybe I didn't, but I felt like I looked sick. So if you, everybody's different. There's some individuals who really need some antidepressants. Some of them even take 2 different antidepressants. I don't know. If you need it, you should take it. Absolutely. But if you don't need it that much, or maybe you did it temporarily, maybe you lost your husband, maybe you lost a child and you're very depressed, you could do it temporarily. Do it temporarily and then stop, because long term, I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't. I experienced it myself.
Yeah. So anything you actually feel like people need to know, because I asked you a lot of questions, but maybe based on your own experience today, what else do you think like somebody's in this today, like the person is 60, is 50 plus, they'd be like, you know what, I'm tired of this life. I want to gain shape. Or they already like into fitness lab. They just want to get that boost and they just kind of lost. What can you tell them today?
I would just say to be determined to do it, because it takes work. Just because you decide one day that you want to be in shape and then you start changing your diet and getting workouts, doesn't mean you're going to stick with it. So you have to be patient and you have to really, really want it. If you really, really want to change, you will get there. I promise you that. You will get there. But you have to put the work into it, and you have to do it consistently, and you don't have to rush on it. Take your time. You know, if you eat, I'll give you an example. If you eat a lot of bread and pasta, just cut it out slowly. You don't have to go from 0 to hero and cut up all those foods overnight, because you're not going to last. But just do it consistently on a weekly basis. You know, do it 3 times a week for now, and then twice a week next week. I have a client who did. I just got this client. I've been working with him for like 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And he, his diet was pizza and Pepsi and cold cuts. He did not eat any healthy food. And I said to myself, oh boy, this is going to be a problem. But he was determined. And he writes everything down. So instead of having soda every single night or a day, I asked him to cut it at least 4 times a night.
Yeah.
For a couple of days. And then 3 times a night. It took him a little longer than that, but he cut it. He doesn't eat bread anymore. He doesn't eat cold cuts anymore. He's diabetic. His numbers are much better, much lower. He feels great. It takes work, but you have to want it.
I think there's one thing as well. I think people need to stop actually focus too much on the age. I mean by that, like people need to stop feeling sorry for themselves because of the age.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm 50 now, I'm 54, I'm 60.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm just too old for these things, man. I let it to young people. You guys are strong. I think that's the
No,
mentality actually brought people down because people don't realize, like,
I
I
agree.
believe those kind of people, they have the same attitude when they was younger, when they was 20, 19, they
Absolutely.
was the same as now. You actually
Absolutely.
50 something and you just use that as an excuse to
Because
not do anything.
the only way that you should stop helping yourself with changing anything is when you're 6 feet under.
Hmm. Yeah,
If you're still
got it.
high, you should continue to live your best life, to be healthier. Being healthy and looking better is not like, it's not a glamorous thing. It makes you feel better. And it keeps, and another thing is like it gives you a lot of strength, especially if you're older. You don't want to depend on someone else.
For
When you're
people who doesn't
70,
know, because people always, oh, she's talking a lot about the age and everything. So I know I don't really ask women. It's not good to ask women the age, but this is we're talking about the age, and I think you always talk about it on your podcast.
yeah.
So how old are you?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm 65.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of
I'm
people are gonna be shocked. 65 now. So she's 65. That's the reason why we talk about it because she's 65. She look healthy. She's strong. You guys need to check her page. She lift all the time. She train hard. She look good. Everything. So, how do you feel about yourself? Like, okay? Because it's kind of hard because when people see you, they don't see you as you 65.
No, they
They feel
don't.
like you're younger, but yourself, because I know like you outside you look all good. I mean, health when you train, you look you strong anyway. But
Yeah.
inside your body, do you feel like sometimes when you see people of your age, do you feel like, oh my God, they remind you of you, they remind you
You're
of your age?
killing me.
Because
Do I
sometimes when
have
I
to
see
be
my friend,
honest?
sometimes when I see my friend, I'm like, oh my God, oh, this is how old am I actually? They remind you like,
No,
okay, you know
sometimes I
what?
see all the people and I'm thinking, what the hell? What are you doing to yourself? Like, why don't you
Yeah.
try?
They remind you like,
Like,
this is how old you are.
why? Like, why do you do that to yourself? Seriously, because they could also feel, it's not about looking beautiful so much, but you
Being
could
strong, I
feel
think.
so much better.
I think it's not
The
just
fact
about
that you're stronger.
yes, being stronger because I remember when I was actually training my mom because she always like, oh, every time she walk, oh, my back, my knees. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Let's have a session. We have a few sessions. She start training now. Guess what? She told me like, there's a lot of pains I used to feel before. I don't even feel that anymore.
See?
She's like, I'm like, sometimes it's just those simple things.
See?
But
Yeah,
before when she
because
used to see
it
me
is.
train, she was like, why you always lift? Why you always do that? And now she's the one, she want to buy weights now. She train
That's
at home.
awesome.
And this is what people don't understand actually. They need to,
No, they don't.
like,
They
yeah,
don't. Or, and when they start doing the work, they
yeah,
give up really fast because they want results immediately. And it doesn't, because in order for you to appreciate all the work that you have done,
mm,
you have to experience all the work that you have done. If it
that's
was
right.
handed to you in a week, you wouldn't appreciate it. But the fact that you feel the changes on a weekly basis, you're getting stronger, you feel alert, you're not tired anymore, your back doesn't hurt anymore. Why would you want to stop?
Because you're lazy and you you
Some
don't have a
people are,
drive.
yeah, some people are.
Yeah, I think they're not focused. I think when you start, when you get a result, and then you won't. I mean, if you know if you got a result, you know how you work. You're always gonna stick to it because when you stop, because I remember I used to train one person, and the girl I was to train her, her legs change, and she's like, "Oh, I feel my body." She have like nice ass and everything, and then she's like, "Oh my God, are we never gonna go back again?"
Yeah,
Because
that's how
you
I
can't
feel.
see
That's
the
exactly how I
result after consistency and then hard work every day. And then when I mean, nobody have to push you because like, I don't want to feel that way when I wear a t-shirt. I want to feel myself, like that's the thing.
Yeah, I've been training for at least 33 years.
Mm,
And it was very difficult in the beginning, I have to tell you, because back then, there was no internet.
mm.
So any workout that I wanted to learn to do, I had to go to the stand and buy a magazine. And I had to flip through the magazine, hoping that they could give me something that I needed for the time. And
Wow.
you keep buying different magazines in order for you to learn something. Then you go to the gym and you try to do this by yourself. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was determined. I was determined to do it. And at the time, there was this bodybuilder. I don't know if you heard of her. Her name is Rachel McLeish.
Yes, I heard. But that's very old.
Was
She's still around, I
like,
don't think.
well, she found me on Facebook,
Oh,
interestingly.
okay.
I don't know how that happened, but she was the one who inspired me to look like this. I look up to this woman. And I think I probably sent her, she came through my feed, and I just told her that she was my inspiration, blah, blah, blah. But she's the sweetest thing. She likes all my posts. She tells me that I look beautiful. But at the time, I had no idea what I was doing, no clue. I just kept going and going and going. I had different trainers to help me, which most of the time weren't any good. But I was determined to do it, and I got there.
Yeah. So, Michele, anything you want to add before we finish about yourself? If you're actually working on something, any project, anything that you want people to know about, anything?
Well, I just launched my online training programs, and I also have an app for those who cannot afford to go one-on-one. It's very inexpensive. It's only $29 a month.
Yeah.
And you could get nutrition or training at home or training at the gym, or you could combine both, and it's a lot better that way. And you can get yourself in shape if for those who cannot afford to have a one-on-one coach. So that's the new thing that I'm doing. So I'm very excited about that.
That's good. I mean, the app is actually, I see a lot of people doing that now. Is it quite hard to do, like, to having an app? Because your app, is it more like just instruction, or is it actually you as well back on the video?
I found this developer in London, actually. They're called Affluencer. So they put the app together for you. So all I had to do was send them all the workouts for home, all the workouts for the gym, all the nutrition plans, and they just put it together and they manage it for me.
That's really good.
So yeah, that's how I did it. I mean, they do a good job.
And then when people buy it, and then how does it work? You make the app, there is all the information there, and people actually pay every single month. Is it like, how come they pay every single month?
It's a subscription. So you sign up, and if you want vegan, actually, if you want regular, if you want vegetarian, whatever you want, it's all there. But you subscribe to it, and you decide what services do you want. Do you want just training at home or the gym, or you just want nutrition, or both? Do you want 3 months, which is cheaper if you do that? And then also you could customize your nutrition. So let's say you don't want bread, you could take that out, because you might have a suggestion of bread for carbs. You could just keep, taking things out or adding things in until you're happy with it. That's good.
And then when people train, do they see you train at the same time, or is it video?
No, it's already in the app. They have to download it, and then they get email with all actually they get an app. They get the actual app and all the programs that they are. It's not me in person.
Oh, is it somebody else, or is it just like written?
Just me. I already put the program.
Oh, okay. It's just written, actually. It's not like one of those you see a person training you at the same time.
So all they have to do is follow it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, as long as you know what it is, it's quite easy to do. Yeah, that's really good. I think it was really nice to have you today. I think next time what we do have an idea, I'm gonna have a few guests, and you're gonna be here. They're gonna ask you questions that you actually want to know. I think
that's terrific.
I think that's gonna be really good. And then again, thanks for having you today. And for people, I know like this podcast, I know it's gonna be popular again, because I know you guys love this topic. But next time, don't be shy. If you guys love this topic, you love what we were saying, you feel like you want to jump in and try, please try to get in touch with Michele. Go there on an Instagram. I'm gonna put the description and the link on the description about her social media, the website, how to download the app and everything. Make sure you go to her page, send her a message, tell her like you did enjoy it, show some support, like a page, and make sure if you want to download it, just download it, and she's gonna be able to help you as well. Or if you want, just like text me and then I get in touch with her. All right. So thanks for having you today, and then stay young and stay strong and healthy.
Thank you. It was great chatting with you today.
Thank you. Thanks for having you today. Cheers.